Hey, it's Randy from Funeral Funds of America. In this video, I'm going to show you the actual pricing for $15,000 worth of burial, cremation, final expense, life insurance, or funeral funds for a 73-year-old male. Now, first thing I suggest is going directly to our website at funeralfunds.com. On just about every page, we have these free quoters. And all you need to do is just select the state that you live in. We're licensed in all 50 states, by the way. And then select the coverage amount. And then put in your birthday and the rest of the info, click Get Quotes. Now, it'll take you to a page that's going to show you the best insurance companies that are going to offer the lowest price you can possibly qualify for. And if you want, you can call us at 888-862-9456. One of our agents can run those for you as well and actually help you get qualified as well. Now, the first thing we recommend for a 73-year-old male looking at $15,000 worth of insurance is determining if that $15,000 is going to be enough to cover your final expense needs. Now, typically that final expense need would be either a cremation or a burial. Let's start with cremation. So the average cost of a cremation right now in the United States is between $1,000 to $2,000. That's if you come home in a cardboard box or an urn. Now, if you're going to have that cremation and have some sort of a ceremony, an end-of-life ceremony or remembrance ceremony, something like that, that's probably going to be $3,500 to $4,500 on average. So how much coverage would you need for those two different options? Well, for the cremation where you come home in a cardboard box or an urn, we would typically recommend around $5,000 to $7,000. Now you might be going, Randy, the cremation's $2,000. Why are we looking at getting $5,000 worth of coverage? Well, because our 73-year-old male is probably hoping he makes it to 83 and maybe even 93. And we want to get some extra coverage because we know due to inflation, prices increase over time. And we want to make sure that our policy holder's got enough insurance so that it doesn't have to revisit this later in life. And also, by getting a little more coverage than we need right now, God forbid if something did happen, unfortunately sooner than we thought, there's a little bit extra money there to be able to pay off maybe some extra bills, maybe some, medical bills or credit card bills that didn't get paid off because you died too soon or something like that. So it really inflation proofs you on the back end, but also offers some extra protection on the front end. Now, if you're going to have that cremation where you have the service, we would typically probably help people with $7,000 to $10,000. And again, that just inflation proofs it on the back end, provides a little extra on the front end just to pay some other things. But if you're like most of the people we help that are on a fixed or limited income, if you need to start smaller, you can always do that. We can always help you add more coverage later as well. Now, if you're looking for a burial, the average cost of a burial right now in the United States is right around $10,000. If you walk into a funeral home with a $10,000 check, most of them will get that done for you. Just understand that's kind of a bare bones funeral right now. But it's hard to imagine they would turn down a $10,000 check, let you walk out the door and walk 2 blocks down the road to their competition. Just understand it's going to be a very basic funeral. And the other thing is it's not inflation proof. So, if you do live another 10 years, you're going to probably want more insurance. But again, what most people would do is if they're a 73-year-old male, they'd look at $10,000 to $15,000, maybe $20,000, but it depends on your budget. Again, most of the people we help are on a fixed or limited income. So between $10,000 to $15,000, possibly $20,000, depending how fancy you want things to get. But just understand, if things are tight right now, get a smaller amount of coverage, get the basic amount of coverage. We can always revisit this in the years to come and add more coverage. Now, one thing that will happen sometimes is people will say, well, I want to get $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 worth of coverage and leave money for my kids. And at age 73, that can kind of get expensive. And it always breaks our heart when somebody says, well, if I can't get $50,000, I'm not doing anything. Because then again, you're shifting this burden to your children and they're going to be the ones that have to pay. And chances are they're going to have to put it on a credit card at 26% interest and just be paying on this for years and years to come. So just understand the reason you can't afford it is you waited later in life. You could have afforded it earlier. So just be humble about this, get what you need, get what's going to cover your final expenses. And then at some point in the future, if you want to get a separate policy to give to the kids, we can help you do that. And that way you've got one policy for your final expenses and one that would go to the kids or the family members. So One thing we always recommend is first day coverage or benefits. We do not recommend those 2-year waiting period plans, not at all. And I'm going to go over that in a moment here. But yeah, first day coverage, you're going to get the most amount of coverage for the least amount of money. And, you know, what that means is hypothetically, if your plan were issued and approved today and you died tomorrow, that the insurance company would write out a check for $15,000, $20,000, $25,000, whatever it is, whatever the coverage amount was. That's exactly the plan you want. Now, some people would say, well, Randy, I do like that first day coverage, but I'm not in the best of health and I'm worried I won't qualify. And to that we say, hey, you know, that's our concern. That's not your concern. And a reason we say that is from an insurance standpoint. And that's because we work with many different insurance companies. They all have different health questions. They all have different underwriting requirements. And really right now, we're getting about 90 to 95% of the time, we're getting people first day coverage or benefits. Really, the only reason we wouldn't be able to do that is if you had some really significant health issues going on. Like maybe you had a terminal illness and you're going to pass away in the next 12 months, or you had dementia, or you're on dialysis, or in a hospital, or in a nursing home. If that were the case, we'd probably refer you out to a different insurance company. And then what seems to happen on a weekly basis as well is somebody will call us up and say, hey, we had a family member pass away this last week and they didn't have insurance and we don't have any money. So we need to get this insurance really quick because their body's down at the funeral home and the funeral home director's not going to do anything till he gets a check in his hand. So we need to get this insurance quick so we can get a check in our hand to pay the funeral home director. We have to let them know that there is no insurance company in the United States that's going to offer a policy on a dead person. Yeah, you actually have to be alive to qualify for and get approved for this insurance. And it's really sad that this family member passed away and did not have this taken care of. They knew they were going to die someday. They probably looked at this insurance and just thought they would do it someday, and they didn't do it. And then they just went and died. And now their family members have to deal with this. And typically what ends up happening is family members have to put this on credit cards at 26% interest. And then they're paying this off for years and years and years. And you could have done everything else right in your life. And you're going to leave this legacy behind, this one last thing that you just dumped this debt on the people that you love the most. So don't be that person. This insurance is affordable. You don't know when you're going to die. Get this thing now. If you need to start out small, you can do that. We can always add more coverage later. Now, one thing we never recommend, as I mentioned, was the 2-year waiting period policies. And Colonial Penn's kind of one of the better known companies out there, I guess. I think it's just because they advertise that $9.95 plan all the time on TV. Seems like that commercial's going every 7 minutes. But yeah, that Colonial Penn $9.95 plan, if you didn't know this already, it's a 2-year waiting period plan. Ouch. Right? Ouch. You don't want that. Nobody wants a 2-year waiting period. And they're not the only company to offer those plans. There's other companies like Mutual of Omaha, their United of Omaha line, AIG, Gerber, man, just a host of other different companies out there. And some of these companies have done an amazing job of convincing the American public that if you're over age 50, the only thing you're going to qualify for is a plan with a 2-year waiting period, to which we always say, don't fall for such nonsense, because we help people with first day coverage all day long. Yes, we do. Now, our 73-year-old male is probably thinking, he probably just watched one of those $9.95 commercials, thinking he outsmarted Colonial Penn by waiting until age 73 to get this, and now he's going to get a $9.95 insurance. He's probably thinking he's going to get $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, maybe even $50,000 for $9.95. And yeah, and then he calls Colonial Penn and talks with an agent, or goes on Colonial Penn's website, like what I've done for you here, and sees that for a 73-year-old male, $9.95 coverage, which is going to be $9.95. One unit is $9.95. That's only going to pay out $608. Not even enough for a cremation. And even if it were enough for a cremation, it's got a 2-year waiting period. Oh, it's awful, right? So it's inadequate coverage, even though the premium's right, So a lot of people would say that these companies that offer these teaser rates, these really low teaser rates, they do that not because they want to sell you that plan. They do that because they want to get your information and they want to be able to call you or get you in their marketing funnel. And then once they have you on the phone, they will show you how minuscule the coverage is for $9.95. And then they will try to upsell you into a higher coverage amount that's more profitable for them. Now, we would never say such a thing about Colonial Penn. Some people do say that, and I guess you'll have to formulate that belief or lack of belief on your own, just kind of looking at $9.95, only providing $608 worth of coverage, which really doesn't do many 73-year-olds anything at all. So let's take a look at $15,000 worth of coverage. If we can even get it through Colonial Penn, they max out at 15 units with the $9.95 plan. And that is only going to be $9,120. So you can't even get $15,000 with the $9.95 plan if you're a 73-year-old male. So it's not going to work. And it's got a 2-year waiting period. But let's look at what first day coverage would be. So we've got $15,000 here for a male, age 73 right there. And we're going to go click, get quote. And again, this is $9,000 for $150. And look at here. I want to go back and show you this again because I don't want you to think I'm fooling you. That's $15,000. And we can help you get that for $123. Yeah, let us help you qualify. We can do that. Now you got to look at this and you go, you're getting $15,000 for $123 versus $9,000 for $149. Why would you ever overpay? It's about $26, $27 more a month. So why would you ever do that? So let's just say it's $25 a month because that's easier math on me. $25 a month times 12 months, it's going to be $300 more for the year. And if our 73-year-old male lives till age 83, you're going to overpay around $3,000. Actually, it's more. It's probably $3,100, $3,200 that you'll end up overpaying. And you'll have $9,120 instead of $15,000. So you need to be a smart consumer and don't just believe some of this stuff you see in advertisements. Yeah, if you're not a smart consumer, that's okay. Let us help you be a smart consumer. We can help you secure these lower rates and not get stuck with 2-year waiting periods. We can help you qualify for that. But let's look at some other companies here too. You'll be able to see all these different companies. We'll go down the line here. Okay, so we're 123. We go down to Limico, 142. They're like $20 more a month. It's level coverage. It's first day coverage, but they're almost $20 more a month. That's $240 a year. After 10 years, you will have overpaid around $2,400 on a $15,000 policy. Why would you do that? Why wouldn't you let us just help you lock in the lowest rate now and you will save that money for the rest of your life? We think you should keep that $2,400 in your own bank account, not give it to an insurance company that's going to overcharge you. Let's look at one other company. Oh, here we go. Lincoln Heritage. They're a fine company, I guess, but oh, wow. Look at that pricing. One's almost $165. It is level coverage, but $165. So Lincoln Heritage has a deal where when you pass away, they will supposedly call 2 or 3 different funeral homes and get the lowest pricing and maybe do a couple other things, but they don't do that for free. They charge for that. And boy, they charge a pretty penny. Again, that's $165-ish versus $123. It's about $42 more a month. I'm just going to round it down to 40 times 12 months. That's $480 more a year. Our 73-year-old male, if he makes it to age 83, you have overpaid right around $4,800 more. So you got to ask yourself, is it worth when you pass away after 10 years paying an insurance company around $4,800 more just to make 2 or 3 phone calls and do a couple other things that might only take an hour or so to do? So most people would say that's a pretty good payday for the insurance company. We would tend to agree. We would really prefer you keep that $4,800 in your own bank account and not give that to an insurance company. And that's just assuming you live 10 years. You know, the longer you go on, the more expensive it gets. What we actually recommend you do is let us help you get approved for the lowest cost of insurance. And then what we do is we provide, free of charge, by the way, a free funeral and estate planning guide. We have that on our website. You can download it and then print it out. And once it's printed out, you just fill it out. You write down who gets what goes where, and what you want done after you're gone. And then you just keep that with your insurance policy. And then when you pass away, your family goes to that place where you keep both of those things at. And they're going to know they're not only protected financially with the insurance policy, but also emotionally with the funeral and estate planning guide, because they won't have to worry about a thing. You've written everything out, and all you have to do is execute your wishes, knowing that they're doing everything that you wanted them to do. And they will also know that you not only love them in life, but you actually love them in death when you couldn't be around to help them, but you had the insurance and the funeral and estate planning guide to help them after you're gone. What a wonderful legacy to leave behind. They will know that you love them both in life and in death. So go to our website, funeralfunds.com. We've got a special quota for our YouTube visitors, funeralfunds.com/YouTube, and we can get you some low rates. You can actually get the lowest rates and the best discounts on there. So take advantage of that. You can call us at our toll-free number, 888-862-9456, and one of our agents can help you out. But if you've got an existing insurance plan and you just want to see if we can save you money, or you want to add coverage to it, we can help you out with that. If you're looking for a brand new policy and you just have some questions, we can help you out with that. But we really look forward to helping you get the most amount of insurance for the least amount of money. And we will be blessed to help you with this at some point in the future when you're ready to move forward. Until that day comes, you stay safe, you take care, you have a nice day. Bye-bye.